Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. What I'll be demonstrating today is how to create a custom flow that will send out an email with a HTML table of everything in my customers list when a new item is added to the customers list. So if you remember from my Midnight Coder dev site, we're going to be using the customers list, and every time we add a new item, an email will be sent with everything in that list in a HTML table. So let's get started. I'm going to be creating the flow from the Power Automate work section, and it's going to be an automated flow. I'm going to call it send a HTML table email demo. And the trigger that I'm looking for is when an item is actually not that one, when an item is created in SharePoint, this one over here. And I'm going to select create. I'm going to add the email address. I'll just grab that over here. And I'll go back. And in the SharePoint list name, I'll select customers from the drop-down list. I'm going to add a new step. It will be the get items. It's this one over here. And I'm going to add the same information. And I'm going to select the customers list again. The next step, I'm going to add a new one, and I'm going to use the select. It's a data operation, and I used that in a previous video. And it's basically mapping from the get items, the value list items. I'm grabbing it from the one right above it, and I'm going to map all the columns in my customers list using this select statement. So if I go back and I look at my customers list, it'll be the customer ID column, the customer name, customer city column, email ID, and the phone number. So I'll map all of that information. The first one will be the customer ID. And the value, I will select that from the get items column. And I'm looking for customer ID. And there we go. The next column will be the customer name. And I'm going to get that information from the dynamic content that appears. The next column will be the customer city. And I'm going to find that on my list. The next one will be the email ID column. And I'll find that information in the dynamic content. And the last one will be the phone number. And I'll grab that from the get items list. There we go. We'll add a new step, and the next step will be create the HTML table. And it's a data operation. And the information will be from the output of the select all this data mapping. So if I click on the From text box, you'll see that in the dynamic content, I have select, which is over here, and the output of that. The last step will be to create the action to send an email. So I'll add the last step. And I'll type in send an email. And the one that we're going to be using is the send an email V2. It's an Office 365 Outlook action. And I'll put my email address. And the subject, I'll just put customer list details. That's in the subject line, and I'll just put any text. This is this information is from the customers list on the dev site. And we'll get that, we'll select in the dynamic content, the create HTML table output, which is all this information here, and we'll save. As soon as it's saved, we'll go back to the previous page. Make sure that the status is on so that the flow will be triggered, and it's an automatic one, so we don't actually have to do anything other than create an item in the customer list. So that's what we'll do. I'll click on New, and I'll put any customer ID. The customer name, I'll do Ron. Customer city, I'll put Mexico City. Email ID, I'll just put Ron at Red Tiger 15 dot on Microsoft.com. The phone number 555-819. And I'll click on save. So our item has been added, and this should have triggered a flow in the background. So if I go to my flow window, and I will, oh, I think I see it, but it succeeded, which is great. And if I click into that, you'll see everything. We have all the green arrows. And this is what the HTML table looks like in the flow. And I'm just going to go and verify the email that I received. And there we go. We successfully got Ron Mexico City, Ron at Red Tiger 15, and the number. So I hope that you found this useful, and hope to see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.